Spontaneous Healing by Dr. Andrew Weil. This book was published in 1995, but the information is still relevant today. Dr. Weil says that we have a healing system, and that healing system activates our cure or our treatment. The first paragraph of the book states, "A man whose lungs are filled with cancer is sent home to die, having been told that medicine can do nothing for him. 6 months later, he reappears in the doctor's office, tumor-free. A young woman, diabetic, a heavy smoker, lies unconscious in a coronary care unit following a bad heart attack. Her doctor anguishes over the fact that her cardiac function is rapidly declining, and he is powerless to save her. But the next morning, she is awake and talking, clearly on the way to recovery. A neurosurgeon tells grieving parents that their son, who is in a coma following a motorcycle accident and severe head injury, will never regain consciousness. The son is fine now." Dr. Weil says that in order for a healing to be classified as miraculous, 5 criteria must be met. And these are, number 1, it must be proved that the illness existed and a diagnosis was established. So you have to have the illness and a diagnosis. 2, it must be shown that the prognosis with or without treatment was poor. So the person was not likely to survive or whatever. 3, the illness was serious and incurable, like a cancer or heart disease. 4, the cure happened without convalescence, that it was virtually instantaneous, like the title of the book, Spontaneous Healing. And 5, the cure was permanent. So whatever this person had, it never came back. In the book, Dr. Weil talks about having spent time with an osteopath named Bob Fulford. He learned a lot from this osteopathic doctor, and some of that I'll share with you now. For instance, the body wants to be healthy. Health is the condition of perfect balance, when all the systems run smoothly. So it's a state of homeostasis. Healing is a natural power. Dr. Fulford told his patients to relax and let old Mother Nature do her job. The body is a whole, and all of its parts are connected. So Dr. Fulford said that the body was a unified functioning system. There is no separation of mind and body. Psychological trauma could interfere with the respiratory motions of the central nervous system. And also Dr. John Sarnell talks about the mind-body connection as well. And finally, the beliefs of practitioners strongly influence the healing powers of patients. So you need your doctor's blessing. And if you can't find a doctor that believes that you can heal, then go to someone who can. Also in the book, Dr. Weil talks about how to optimize your healing system. For instance, eat a healthy diet. Consume healthy fats. Protect yourself from toxins, like purify your water. Get enough activity, but also get enough rest. He says there are 7 strategies of successful patients. For instance, don't take no for an answer. If you have to, then fire your doctor. He says that successful patients search out possibilities for treatments and cures, and they follow up on every lead they come across. Nowadays, with the internet, you could watch videos and people will tell you what conditions they have, and you probably have the same condition. You could go to websites. You could go to a variety of sources these days, more so than when this book was written. And as I was saying, he says in the book, seek out others who have been healed. You can do that on YouTube. You can do that on other sites, probably Twitter and Facebook. He says, form constructive partnerships with health professionals. Find an ally. Find a doctor who believes that you can be cured. He says changes in relationships, jobs, places of residence, diet, and habits all come to light. You may have to change your life completely. He says change is always difficult, but major change can be very painful. But if you want to live, you may have to do that. He says regard illness as a gift. I don't agree with him on this, but he says that seeing illness as a misfortune, especially one that is undeserved, may obstruct the healing system. I just think that it would be better not to be ill in the first place. Cultivate self-acceptance. He says to accept yourself, you have to accept all your imperfections, your limitations, and defects. And throughout the book, there are lots of people who have suffered from various ailments and recovered. And he goes through each and every one of them with their processes. One person may have started off someplace and then found out that this other route was the way to their cure. This is definitely worth reading. I would say at least have it in your health library so that if you ever need it someday, you can go to it. All right, thank you very much. Bye.